Hey guys, let me walk you through how to preach a Sermonlink series from our Sermonlink resources at pursuegod.org. Now, the best way to do this is to go to Ministry Tools, click on Sermonlink and Schedule, and what you'll see there is a couple of tabs there. First of all, the Conversations tab. So these are the individual lessons in Sermonlink. And remember, Sermonlink includes the regular version for everyone, the kids version, and also the youth version. Every one of our Sermonlink series has all three versions, and that's part of the benefit to it. So here are all of the most current lessons or sermons for kids, youth, and for everyone. And if you want to check out our series, the most recent series, click on that series tab, and you can go back and preach any one of these. Go and you can take a look at all of the resources that we have for each one of these archived series, and you can preach all of those, any of those that you want. So let's take a look at the Hall of Fame series, for example. So this is a 4-week series, and you see first the lesson 1 is on Abel, lesson 2 is on Enoch, and then Noah, and then finally Abraham. So let's go ahead and just look at the Abel sermon. So each one of our Sermonlink series comes along with this individual lesson page, and this isn't just for preachers. It's really designed for families and small groups and mentoring relationships. And so what you'll see is an excerpt here at the top of that. You'll see a link to the kids version of this and the youth version of this. That's, again, why we call it Sermonlink. You'll see the small group video is embedded here. This is a 5-minute version of this particular sermon. And then you'll see the summary there. And then down toward the bottom, you'll see discussion questions and then the links and downloads. And links and downloads is what you'll be interested in if you're preaching this particular sermon, because you can see the full-length studio sermon right here. You can watch that. Usually it's 25 to 30 minutes, and you can watch this sermon being preached in a studio, take your own notes, and then customize it and make it your own. You can also download the sermon intro video if you want to use that at your church. You can download the full sermon video. You can download the sermon slides that we use. And then finally, this last link you'll probably be interested in. It's the leader community on Google+. And this is where you can find all of the sermon notes and manuscript notes. Anyone that is preaching this sermon and wants to share their notes, you can do it right here on this particular post. So it's the Hebrews 11 post in our Pursue God Leader community. You'll notice we've got 2 versions of notes available for you. Scott's version is more of a bulleted list version. Steve's version is more of a manuscript. If you want to add your own comments or if you want to post your own notes there, you can do that and share your notes with the community. And so that's something you'll definitely want to be aware of. You also might want to be aware of the resources on this topic. These resources are a lot of times really helpful for you to peruse. For example, in this case, you might want to look at this article called What Does Faith Look Like? This is a great background article that will help you to prepare for this particular sermon. And again, you also probably want to go ahead and watch the kids version and the youth version. Those are all things that I do when I prep a sermon because I want to know all of the different angles on this particular sermon. But the goal here is to give you all these resources so that you have everything you need to really customize this particular sermon for your context or for your church. Now let's go back to the Ministry Tools link and let's check out the schedule. If you want to see what's coming up in Sermonlink, so this is, if you click on the series tab, you'll see what we've preached in the past, and all of those sermon series are great ones to go back and preach if you'd like to for your church. But if you click on View the Schedule, you can see what's coming up, and we like to be about 4 to 6 weeks out. And so you can click, for example, in August, and you can see what's coming up in August. You can see on August 2nd, this is what we're preaching. So you can click there, and you can, once again, begin to prepare ahead of time along with us for this particular sermon. So you'll see all of those same tools are there. You can watch the full-length studio sermon as you customize it for your own context. You can click on the Leader Community link to check out any notes or manuscripts that are made available. And again, there are resources on this topic as well. So the goal here is to allow you to plan ahead with us, not just for you and your sermon, but if your kids ministry uses our tools, you're going to want to use that Sermonlink schedule as well. All of those things are really helpful for your planning for your particular church or ministry. One more thing I want you to be aware of here is if you go to Ministry Tools into Teams and Training, this Teaching Team page is a great page to work off of. Make sure that you go through the teacher training series where we talk about what qualifies you to teach a sermon. We talk about 3 teaching principles and the next steps for teachers in training. And you'll see all kinds of other helpful resources for you if you're preaching and you want to just learn more about how to be a better preacher using our resources. This is a great place to start. So I hope that's helpful for you as you use these resources at pursuegod.org to preach our Sermonlink series.